Despite Annie's pregnancy and potential financial difficulties, David, the 90-day fiancé, loves living in Thailand and how much it costs compared to Arizona. David Toborowski, star of 90-Day Fiancé, has a purpose for relocating to Thailand with Annie Suwon, who is 8 months along with their daughter. In Thailand, David and his friend Chris Thieneman used to work together. Christ owned a company called Fantasy Thailand, where visitors from around the globe could realize their dreams. During Season 5 of 90-Day Fiancé, David provided minimal details about his past. He claimed to have lost his job, his house, and his automobiles after going through a divorce after 21 years of marriage. David's weight increased to 350 pounds, and he suffered a stroke to exacerbate the situation. When David reached his lowest point, he went to Thailand. David admitted, "I went to Thailand to rebuild myself." When Annie entered his life, he wasn't even searching for love. However, David is returning to Thailand over 10 years later to begin anew, this time with Annie in order to raise a new family. David appears to be more comfortable with Annie in Thailand than he is in the United States. His euphoria may be due to a combination of his upcoming mini-me and the fact that he is on vacation while still working remotely. In his photos, David's smile is at its broadest since David is also young at heart. He has even colored his hair blonde to resemble the hip and youthful Thai residents. In fact, David is now more concerned than ever about his health. He has been incorporating almost 40,000 steps each day into his fitness regimen. Walking everywhere has become a habit for David. On his walks, he likes to take in the vistas of the Gulf of Thailand. David appears to be in better shape than ever and isn't at all anxious about the arrival of their child. It's the kind of energy Annie needs right now as she prepares to give birth to her first child and struggles with anxiety and health concerns. Annie is kept joyful by David's contagious happiness. Viewers had a lot of questions when David originally revealed that he was heading to Thailand. First, when questioned if his child would still be an American citizen, David replied that she would be an American Thai citizen, even though she was born outside of the country. The most urgent question, though, was whether David was encountering any financial problems as a result of his sudden departure to Thailand. Annie and David have been residing in their Pattaya condo. Because they own multiple homes in Annie's own country, they are able to travel with lower hotel expenses. When comparing the cost of living in Pattaya and Scottsdale, Arizona, the two cities differ significantly. Pattaya offers 73.2% cheaper rent than Scottsdale. According to Numbeo, the cost of groceries is 34.6% lower in Pattaya than in Scottsdale, while the cost of restaurants is 64.1% lower in Pattaya. A McDonald's McMeal, for example, would cost $7.99 in Pattaya compared to $11.50 in the United States, and a one-bedroom flat that would rent for $2,016.67 in Scottsdale's city center would rent for $522.96 in Pattaya. In November 2023, Annie and David began researching their possibilities for IVF. They solicited recommendations from fans on IVF facilities. In July 2024, they finally made their pregnancy public. Fans who had seen Annie and David declare they didn't want children for years were taken aback by the revelation. David was older and had had a vasectomy, so he was done having children. Annie wasn't, though, and it appears that she chose to give birth to her first kid in Thailand. It's crucial to know that Annie's entire family resides there. Even though David and Annie have never disclosed the true reason for their move, Annie might be worried about giving birth and caring for her child alone, without assistance. Just before her flight to Thailand, Annie also had to deal with the death of her grandma. Annie was profoundly impacted by the passing of her grandmother, who had reared her. There is nothing more wonderful than Annie's grin when she is around her loved ones. She is so happy that she can't help but beam. Taking Annie to her home country to receive their bundle of joy was the least David could have done to ensure his wife had a safe and joyous delivery. The kid is due in the middle of March, according to David and Annie. It is scheduled on March 14, 2025. After the baby is born, Annie and David will most likely spend more time in Thailand, thus it is unlikely that they will be going back to the United States very soon. If he so chooses, David may be the one to return before Annie, but for the time being, their move appears to be permanent, however temporary. The pair appears to have planned ahead and plans to bring the baby to Thailand. David and Annie have made a well-informed choice after weighing the benefits and drawbacks of living in Thailand. Annie never lost sight of her Thai roots when she moved to the United States. From an early age, Annie wants her child to be exposed to and experience the cultures of both of her parents. David and Annie will undoubtedly continue to spend their summers in Thailand, even when they return to the United States, allowing their daughter to form close bonds with both Annie's and David's American families. The duo from 90 Day Fiancé is skilled at what they do.